For this video, I will be explaining to you our lesson on division by two-digit divisors. As you know, division is one of the four basic mathematical operations, and it is defined as the splitting of a large group into equal smaller groups. Now, let us identify the different parts of a division. As you can see, we have here an example which is 11 divided by 2 is equal to 5 remainder 1. 11 here in the number sentence is what we call the dividend, followed by the division symbol, and 2 here is what we call the divisor, then equal to 5 is our quotient, and remainder, if after you divide there's still a remaining number, we call it a remainder, and we use the symbol capital R. Please always remember the different parts of a division. Let me give you 4 examples on how do we divide numbers. Example number 1. 495 divided by 20. It will be easier to divide these numbers if you will be writing it this way. As we know that 495 is a dividend and 20 is our divisor, so we can make use of the divisor to write down the multiplication table of the divisor or the multiples of 20 in order for us to divide these numbers easily. So on the right side, if you can see on your screen, there the multiplication table of 20, this will serve as your guide. Then proceed to division. 4 divided by 20, of course it's not possible because 4 is smaller. Then get the two digits 49 divided by 20. It's like asking how many 20 are there in 49, and obviously there's 2. You can see on the side that 20 times 2 or 2 times 20 is equal to 40. Write it below 49. After that, you're just going to subtract them, and 49 minus 40 is equal to 9. Next, after this, we bring down the next digit of the dividend to the right, which is 5. So we have now 95 divided by 20. So how many 20 are there in 95? You can make use of the multiplication table as your guide. Look for a closest number to 95 but should be smaller than 95 or exactly 95. And the closest to 95 is 80, and there are 4 20s for that. So that means 95 divided by 20 is equal to 4. 4 times 20 is equal to 80. Then after that, we are just going to subtract 95 minus 80, and that is 15. We don't have any more digits in the dividend, so that means 15 here is our remaining number. That means in our final answer, we write 24 remainder 15. So all in all, 495 divided by 20 is equal to 24 remainder 15. And 24 remainder 15, it's what we call the quotient. Okay? Example number 2. 4,357 divided by 13, and it's still easier to divide that using this long division method. So our divisor is 13. You may write the guide for the multiplication table of 13 or the multiples of 13 up to the 9th multiplication table of 13 so that it would be easier for you to divide. You can also make use of trial and error for multiplying 13 to different numbers starting from 1 to 9 in order for you to know how many 13 are there in the given dividend. So we'll begin with dividing 4 by 13. Of course, it's not possible because 4 is smaller. Then we get up to the next two digits, which is 43. And look for the multiples of 13 that is closest to 43, but smaller than 43 or exactly 43. And that's 3. 3 times 13, that will give you 39. After that, you just simply subtract the two numbers, 43 minus 39, that will give us a difference of 4. Then proceed to the next digit on the right of the dividend, then bring it down, so we have now 5. So the two numbers now, the two digit number now is 45. Then simply divide 45 by 13, and there are 3 13. So 3 times 13 is equal to 39 again. Just simply subtract the two numbers. 45 minus 39 is equal to 6. And we still have one last digit to bring down, so that is 7. We have now 67 divided by 13. So look in your guide on the right side for the multiples of 13 that is closest to 67, and that is 5. 5 times 13 is equal to 65. Subtract 67 minus 65, that will give us a difference of 2. And there's no more number on the right side, no more number to bring down. So that means our 2 here is our remainder. So when we divide 4,357 divided by 13, we get a quotient of 335 remainder 2. If you wanted to check if your answer is correct, you can just simply multiply 335 times 13, then add the remainder 2, and you will get 4,357. Okay, let me now proceed to example number 3. 9,072 divided by 38. So 38 is quite a big number already. So use long division to divide them. And our divisor there is 38, so you can make use of the multiplication table 38 on the right side as your guide, or you may use trial and error to identify the given number. Okay, so we start with dividing 9 by 38. So the dividend 9,072, we begin with 9 divided by 38. It's not possible because 9 is smaller, then we can just get the 2 digits right away, which is 90 divided by 38. So look for the closest number in the multiples of 38 that is closest to 90 or should be smaller or equivalent to 90. And that is 2. 38 times 2 or 2 times 38, that will give us 76. Just subtract after that 90 minus 76, that will give us 14. After that, bring down the number to the right side. So we have now a new number, which is 147 divided by 38, and there's 3 38s there. So 3 times 38 is 114. Subtract 147 minus 114 is equal to 33. Next, we still have another number to bring down, and that is 2. The new number now is 332 divided by 38. And there are 8 38s. So 8 times 38 is equal to 304. After that, you subtract, and 332 minus 304, that will give us a difference of 28. You can also check whether your remainder is correct, because you will know that always remember your remainder should be smaller than the divisor. So since 28 is already smaller than the divisor, which is 38, then we cannot divide 28 by 38 anymore because there's no more number on the right side to bring down. So that means all you have to do is in your answer at the top, you just have to simply copy the remainder 28, use capital letter R that represents the word remainder, and put 28. So when we divide 9,072 by 38, we get a quotient of 238 remainder 28. Now let me proceed to the last example. 91,105 divided by 45. So we divide that using the long division method. Our divisor here is 45. Our dividend is 91,105. So obviously you need to know the different multiples of 45, or you can just make use of trial and error in order for you to solve this. So let me show to you the different multiples of 45, or you can just write down the multiplication table of 45. You can also write right away the different multiples by just keeping on adding. So if you try to notice, we begin with 45 plus another 45, 90 plus another 45, 135 plus another 45, 180, and so on. So we begin now dividing 9 divided by 45. It's not possible because 9 is smaller, then we get the 2 digits right away, which is 91. 91 divided by 45, if you try to look at in your guide on the right side, there are 2 45, so 2 times 45 is equal to 90. Subtract 91 minus 90 is equal to 1. Bring down the next digit. Now, when we bring down the next digit, the number that we have here is only 11. 11 divided by 45, we cannot divide that, right? So what we're going to do, since it's not possible, please write 0 first as your answer. The reason for this is because we need to use first the space in your answer for the digit there so that your answer will be correct. So use 0 at the top. 0 times 45, that will give us 0. So 11 minus 0 is still 11. What we're doing here is we just make use of the 11. So we put 0 so that we will get the correct answer for this. Because the tendency is if you put the next number on the right side, your answer will be incorrect. So now we can bring down the next digit, which is 0. So we have now 110. 110 divided by 45. So you can just look at on the guide. The number that is closest to 110 could be smaller or equal to 110, and that is by 2. 2 times 45 is 90. Subtract the two numbers, 110 minus 90, that will give us a difference of 20. We still have one last digit on the right side, bring it down, that is 5. So we have now 205 divided by 45, and that is 4. 4 times 45, that is 180. And then subtract the two numbers, 205 minus 180, that will give us 25. And take note, the 25 as our remainder here is already smaller than the divisor. So that means 25 here is our remainder. So when we divide 91,105 by 45, we get a final quotient of 2024, remainder 25. Now, if you wanted to check your answer if it's correct, you can just simply multiply 2024 times 45, then add the remainder 25, and it will give you the dividend, which is 91,105. So that's it for the examples that I gave. Now let me challenge you for some division sentences here. So I want you to answer using your paper and pencil the 3 questions that I prepared here by just following how I solved it when I explained it earlier. So there are 3 examples here for you to answer. Make use of your paper and pencil. So that's the first one is 1,234 divided by 11. The second one is 27,903 divided by 25. And then the third one is 483,560 divided by 32. So you can just make use of any method in solving that as long as you will come up with the correct answer. So that's it for today's video, everyone. Thank you and see you next time.